Pakistan wants to pay in Chinese yuan for Russia's crude oil. Cash-strapped Pakistan hopes it can pay for future Russian crude oil deliveries in Chinese yuan. Pakistani Minister of Power told Bloomberg in an interview published on Wednesday. Pakistan expects to receive in May its first cargo loaded with discounted Russian crude after placing its first order for oil from Moscow under a new bilateral deal. The payment for the first cargo of Russian oil was made in US dollars. Pakistan is desperate to import energy at a low cost after it was outspent in the market last year when oil and gas prices surged, while its foreign exchange reserves dwindled. Currency swap with China, which would make it easier to pay for crude than using the little US dollar reserves it has. We hope that if this becomes a long-term arrangement, it'll become a rupee and Chinese currency transaction. China has been looking for years to establish more trade deals in yuan to increase the relevance of its currency in global markets and challenge the US dollar's dominance in international trade, including in energy trade. In March, China's President Xi Jinping met with Vladimir Putin in Moscow, and the Russian president not only endorsed trade in yuan with China, but also with other countries. We support the use of Chinese yuan in payments between Russia and countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, Putin was quoted as saying by Russian media. Over the past year, Russia has turned to trade in yuan in the wake of Western sanctions on its exports, imports, and energy trade, as the Chinese currency has become Putin's only alternative to reducing exposure to US dollars. The world isn't going to stop just because the United States is being difficult monetarily, politically. They'll continue to find ways to do what they have to do, because if you're disconnected from those needs, you'll lose that demand for the dollar. And once people turn away from the dollar, they don't go back. Look how much it took for them to move from the dollar. I mean, it took years and years and decades of mistreatment, of bad fiscal policy, of abusing the reserve currency status. But once they switch, it's going to take a lot for them to come back to the dollar if they ever do. And they probably never will. The main beneficiary of all this stuff, of rising interest rates, of reducing dollars availability around the world, of banking system issues, of the United States freezing assets of other countries, is really China. We say we don't want to see China rise on a global stage, yet we do all the things that allow it to happen.